Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on this video. My name is Chris. I do want to say right up top, if you're someone who has not seen Spider-Man No Way Home, do not worry. Even though we're talking about Spider-Man 4 that Kevin Feige confirmed in this side flick, all the details concerning the movie and whatnot will remain spoiler-free, so you guys can still enjoy this side flick without worrying about that. If you really want to hear me talk spoilers, I already posted a spoiler review that you guys can check out in the link in the description. But other than talking about Spider-Man 4, we do have other great movie news to catch up on. We have a great update on the upcoming live-action Blue Beetle movie, the Kick-Ass franchise getting a reboot, Shazam 2 getting a certain DC character cameoing in the movie, that along with so much more. So many of you movie fans to give me your opinions down below with everything we discuss here today. Still proceed with caution in case you don't want spoilers for Spider-Man, because I'm sure some people will be bringing it up down below. And if you're wondering why I'm wearing the Andrew suit, it's because I'm going to go ahead and film my ranking of all the Spider-Man movies and have that posted later today for you guys, so be on the lookout for that. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into our first movie news story here today. Something a little smaller here that I still find very interesting. We have details on what M. Night Shyamalan's next horror movie is. It just got reported that M. Night Shyamalan's next horror movie, called Knock at the Cabin, will not only be starring Dave Bautista as the main lead, great casting by the way, we also have details now that the movie will actually be one of those films that is shot in one continuous take. Now, if you're not too familiar with what I mean by that, think of movies like Birdman or 1917, where they're supposed to be movies that look like the camera is constantly following the main character and never cuts away. Even though there is some camera trickery involved and the entire movie isn't actually shot in one take, but when you're watching the film, you're supposed to think that they hit record and never stopped until the end of the film, basically happening in real time. And look, say what you will about M. Night Shyamalan, whether you think he's a great filmmaker or an overrated one, or you don't find his twists surprising anymore, he's still someone I'll always be willing to watch his movies because he does something different and unique. You never know what you're gonna get when you go watch an M. Night Shyamalan movie. And even though I wasn't the biggest fan of Old, it was still a fun experience, kind of cool seeing what he came up with, even if the twist at the end was kind of meh for me. And it looks like he's bringing that same unique style here with his first one continuous take movie, Dave Bautista as the lead, a movie set in the woods with a cabin. You know what? You got me, M. Night Shyamalan, I'll be there. How are you guys feeling about M. Night Shyamalan's next movie, and do you think it has potential to be something good? Bringing us to a little update here concerning Scream 5. I am still unbelievably excited for this movie, and yes, a lot of you guys have been asking me, just the same way I reviewed all the Spider-Man movies leading up to Spider-Man No Way Home, I do plan to review all the Scream movies leading up to Scream 5. But right now, the Scream franchise is currently doing a 12 Days of Christmas thing where every day they reveal something new about the movie, and some stuff has been little here and there. One of the newer posters of the movie that looks absolutely fantastic. It's gotta be one of my favorite Scream posters in a long time. I know the cast and floating head thing is a cliche, but Scream has been doing that since the very beginning, so it's okay with me. They even did an awesome thing where they turned this fan poster that was made by Creepy Duck Design. They actually contacted him, said, "Your poster's cool, man. Can we make an official one?" I don't think I've ever seen a studio do that, where they actually take a fan poster, say, "Oh, they did a good job there. How about we make that official?" And that's why I'll love and respect Scream for what they're doing right now. But the recent big thing they went ahead and revealed is on their YouTube channel, they dropped about a 1 and 40-second long featurette where it's just the old cast talking about the new young cast members, and there's a lot of new footage in there, and I'm just telling you, I'm loving the vibe of this Scream movie. You can really feel the meta vibe that the new cast members have in the film, where they're talking about the rules and how to survive it. Even this featurette already throwing hints exactly to who could be the killer by throwing you off. Plus, visually, I love the way this movie's looking, way better than the cinematography in Scream 4. So yes, I'm still unbelievably hyped for this movie, and I just hope come January a lot of people go see it so they can continue this franchise. How are you guys feeling about some of the latest things they've revealed concerning Scream 5? Moving on to talk about something I wasn't expecting to hear anything about, the Kick-Ass franchise is looking to be rebooted. The original director, Matthew Vaughn, is doing interviews for the latest Kingsman movie, and he was asked about the Kick-Ass franchise, to where he surprisingly confirmed that they do have a reboot in the works. He said exactly, "We got a big reboot of Kick-Ass in 2 years. Big reboot." Continuing on, "It's so effing nuts that I can't talk about it, but we've got that ready to go. All the rights revert back in 2 years, and then we're going to reboot it where people will be like, he is insane." And I'm a little conflicted on this, because look, that first Kick-Ass movie is like one of my favorite movies of all time. If you're someone who has not seen that first Kick-Ass film, do yourself a favor and check it out. It's one of those R-rated superhero-esque movies that just do not get made today in fear of people getting canceled, but it's also one of those comic book movies that is so faithfully adapted from the source material. I really love that film a lot. The second film kind of let me down, so being a fan of the franchise and have read the comic books of Kick-Ass, I really would love to see what he's talking about with making a reboot in this modern age, where he says it's gonna be effing insane, he's gonna keep it graphic, bloody, and violent, and that's what Kick-Ass is. But the other part of me in my mind is like, Matthew Vaughn, you're such a talented, great director. I love what you did with the first Kick-Ass. I love what you did with the first Kingsman, and it's just so weird that he's been stuck to these two franchises back to back, where we even got reports that he's about to film Kingsman 3 coming up in the next year, and that'll be the 4th Kingsman movie he works on, and now he's trying to go back to Kick-Ass. Like, Matthew Vaughn, I would love to see you do Superman or something else. But then again, I can't help it if you're gonna give me a new Kick-Ass movie, because I'll see it, man. I'll see it. How do you guys feel about Matthew Vaughn wanting to reboot Kick-Ass, and is that something you think would work better today? Moving on to something I got really hyped and excited about. Finally, the people at Warner Brothers are making smart decisions. You guys might have heard that there's a live-action Blue Beetle movie in the works that is set to star Solo Maridueña, who plays Miguel in Cobra Kai. He'll be taking up the mantle of Jaime Reyes and be the new Blue Beetle, which I'm super excited about, until I heard that Warner Brothers wanted to make it a streaming service exclusive for HBO Max, and that made me feel a little sad, because I'm like, there's a lot of potential with Blue Beetle. He's someone that I know general audiences would love if you put it on the big screen, and well, our prayers were answered, because Warner Brothers is no longer making this a streaming exclusive, and it will be headed to theaters. It was reported that the movie will now be coming out August 18th of 2023, and I know some people would rather just see it on a streaming service because it's easier or cheaper for them, but this is honestly a great sign for the quality of the movie, because that means Warner Brothers is looking at what they're about to make here, since they already have concept art, a script ready, they have the actor, the talent, directors, and everything that Warner Brothers is looking at right now. They're like, oh crap, this is actually going to be a really great movie. We have potential to make money at the box office here. So that's exactly what they're doing. Instead of just dumping it on HBO Max, they're going to put it to theaters. This could also lead to some interesting things within the DC universe, because Blue Beetle is connected to other heroes. Heck, it could even be a weird way for them to start introducing Young Justice if they wanted to do that. I'm very happy they're doing this as a Latino myself, that a Latino superhero is going to get the big screen adaptation. How are you guys feeling about Blue Beetle now going to theaters? And I guess since we're speaking about DC projects here, we got a little update from Shazam 2 called Fury of the Gods. Exclusively coming out from the Illuminati, who has been a very reliable source in the past. They are going ahead and reporting that Wonder Woman Gal Gadot will actually be set to cameo in Shazam 2 Fury of the Gods. Now, there's no specific details about what exactly she'll be doing in the movie, or how she comes in, or even how long she'll be in it. And as surprising as this might be, it's kind of a no-brainer. The movie is called Fury of the Gods, and Gal Gadot is the daughter of Zeus, a god. So with the plot of Shazam 2 dealing with Billy Batson fighting off some of these gods that are coming into the world, I think it does make sense for Gal Gadot to get a whiff of that and go, oh crap, this is kind of my expertise, I should go help that Shazam fella, until she finds out he's actually a little kid. I like that DC is doing this interconnectiveness, that even though Marvel has been better at it, at least DC is testing the waters and showing some connectivity in their universe, because I think Gal Gadot is also said to appear in the Flash movie, along with so many other heroes. This could be just them trying to pull strings so that people go to the theater to see these movies, or they might actually have a plan this time and we could see the early setups for the next Justice League team-up movie. So I think that's cool, but hey man, don't do us like you did with the Superman cameo. Actually make it hurt. Although now that I think about it, it would be a funny ongoing joke if it's just Gal Gadot from the neck down. Alright, moving on to talk about Spider-Man 4 here. Like I said, no spoilers. I won't be mentioning anything involved with No Way Home, but I do still plan to make a video talking about my predictions for what will happen in Spider-Man 4, or maybe even this next trilogy. Right now, we had Kevin Feige go ahead and confirm that the 4th movie is in the works with Sony and Marvel. Kevin Feige went ahead and said exactly, Amy and I and Disney and Sony are talking about it. Yes, we're actively beginning to develop where the story heads next, which I only say outright because I don't want fans to go through any separation trauma like what happened after Far From Home. And you know what? That kind of makes sense to me now why Kevin Feige went ahead and revealed that Spider-Man 4 is happening even though the weekend of No Way Home releasing isn't even done yet. Is because after Far From Home came out, that's when we started hearing reports that Sony and Marvel were going to split ways and take Spider-Man out of the MCU. And then we were left with like a month or two period where we were just unsure, starting to get worried, a little sad. But now good old Kevin Feige does not want that to happen and is assuring us that Spider-Man 4 is going to be happening with Marvel and Sony, most likely meaning they're going to continue on the trilogy as well, which I think is great. The producer Amy Pascal also gave a little hint to what could happen with the movie, again spoiler free, saying, at the end of the movie, we just made you see Spider-Man make a monumentous decision, one that you've never seen him make before. It's a sacrifice, and that gives us a lot to work with for the next film. If you are someone who's seen Spider-Man No Way Home, you know how that movie ends. I know how that movie ends. And I think it is one of the most perfect endings for Tom Holland's character that really does set him up for a very interesting future down the line. Like, even with the hype that we've had for No Way Home, I'm actually even more excited to see this story that Tom Holland's gonna go on because of the way they ended the movie with his character. You also gotta think creatively, it's gonna feel like a very different Spider-Man movie because John Watts will most likely not be back as he's gonna be too busy directing the Fantastic Four movies. So they're gonna bring in a whole new director, maybe even a whole new creative team. And so the next Tom Holland movies are gonna look, feel, and maybe just play out very differently than we thought. And I'm actually thinking that's a great idea. You guys hear Kevin Feige go ahead and confirm that Spider-Man 4 is gonna be happening. Does that excite you? I can't wait to make my prediction video because I have so many theories about what could be happening next. But that is all the movie news we currently got going on right now, guys. It was great to be able to make a side flick so soon from the last one. I appreciate all you guys who watch these videos. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at 3C Films or on TikTok at 3C Films. But as always, I'm Chris. Take care.